Anime starts as a young man, suddenly wakes up in a fantasy world and quickly realizes something unbelievable. He has become the character he used while playing an online game. Not only does he have all of his powerful equipment, but he also possesses the abilities of his max-level Holy Knight character. Are curious about his strength, he tests a sword skill and easily destroys everything in its path. When he tries magic, he accidentally incinerates a tree, proving that he has access to abilities far beyond what his class should normally possess. Soon, Ark faces a major problem. After drinking water from a river, he removes his helmet and discovers that his face is actually that of a skeleton. Remembering that he chose a skeleton avatar in the game, he realizes that people would see him as a monster if they discovered his true appearance. To avoid causing panic, he decides to keep his helmet on at all times and travel as a mysterious armored knight. Ark teleports to the nearby town of Overpowered, where he is amazed to see real elves living among humans. While exploring the town, he notices an elf woman arguing with an investigator before disappearing into the crowd. Wanting a way to earn money and survive in this world, Ark visits the mercenary guild and applies for a license. To receive one, he must first prove his abilities by defeating a beast, monster, or bandit and bringing back evidence. Leaving town, Ark quickly completes part of the trial by hunting wild boars and even defeating a powerful orc. However, while traveling, he comes across a far more serious situation. A group of bandits has attacked a carriage, killed its guards, and captured a noblewoman named Lauren Laraya de Louviert along with her maid Rita Farron. The bandits are preparing to take advantage of the helpless women when Ark suddenly appears. With overwhelming strength, Ark cuts through the bandits with ease. The survivors attempt to fight back, but a single devastating sword technique wipes them out completely. After rescuing Lauren and Rita, Ark checks on them and confirms that they are safe. When they begin asking questions about him, Ark quickly invents a story, claiming that he is a knight suffering from a curse who is traveling the world in search of a cure. While Lauren and Rita take a moment to recover, Ark burns the bandits' bodies with magic to prevent any future trouble. He also gathers their valuables and horses before escorting the two women back toward town. During the journey, Rita repeatedly thanks Ark for saving them, while Lauren remains strangely interested in the mysterious knight who appeared out of nowhere and effortlessly defeated an entire bandit group. Back in Louviert, Ark returns to the mercenary guild and submits proof of the monsters he defeated. The receptionist explains how monster rune stones can be collected and processed into useful items before officially granting Ark his mercenary license. With his first goal accomplished, Ark checks into an inn, enjoys a large meal after his exhausting day, and finally relaxes. As he settles into his new life, Ark looks forward to taking on more quests, unaware that his adventures in this strange world have only just begun. Ark accepts a simple guild request from a small village called Rada Village. The job is to escort someone while they gather medicinal herbs in the nearby forest. Upon arriving, he learns that the request was posted by a young girl named Marka, who lives with her mother Siona and younger sister Helena. When Ark arrives at their home, Marka is surprised by the imposing knight standing at her door. After welcoming him inside, she explains that she wants to complete the job before her mother returns. As they travel toward the forest, Marka reveals the truth. Her father died the previous year, leaving Siona to raise the family alone. Since then, her mother has worked tirelessly collecting herbs to support them. Wanting to ease her mother's burden and make her happy, Marka secretly posted the guild request. Touched by her determination and love for her family, Ark becomes even more determined to help her. While searching for herbs, Marka impresses Ark with her extensive knowledge of plants and nature. During their journey, they hear rustling nearby and discover a strange green creature with multiple tails hiding in the bushes. The little monster is injured and frightened. When Ark reaches out, it bites his finger, but instead of getting angry, he uses healing magic to treat its wounds. Grateful for the kindness, the creature quickly becomes attached to him. After some discussion, Ark names the creature Ponta, and it happily follows them around. Meanwhile, back in the village, rumors begin spreading about a dangerous monster roaming the forest. Around the same time, Siona returns home and learns that Marka has gone into the woods with a mysterious knight. Worried about her daughter's safety, she rushes to find her. Deep within the forest, Ark and Marka eventually reach a rare kabomi tree. However, just as Marka approaches it, a massive giant basilisk suddenly appears. Ponta immediately reacts with fear, allowing Ark to realize that this monster was responsible for injuring the little creature earlier. The giant basilisk attacks without hesitation. Ark quickly pulls Marka out of danger and begins fighting the enormous beast. The monster uses poisonous breath, paralyzing claws, and even petrification abilities, but Ark calmly analyzes every attack while protecting Marka. Using his powerful holy shield, he blocks the creature's deadly abilities before unleashing a devastating holy attack called Judgment. The strike cuts the giant basilisk clean in half, ending the battle instantly. As the dust settles, Marka celebrates their victory, knowing the village will finally be safe. However, Ark asks her to keep his involvement secret. While examining the monster, he notices a mysterious ring attached to its leg that suddenly disappears. This leaves him wondering whether someone may have been controlling the beast. Shortly afterward, a fang boar appears. Ark easily defeats it and decides to present the monster as a gift to the village. He keeps only the fangs and rune stone as payment, while suggesting that the hide be turned into clothing for Marka and the meat distributed among the villagers. Upon returning, Marka is warmly reunited with her worried mother. As evening arrives, Ark prepares to leave. Before he goes, Helena presents him with a flower crown as a token of thanks. Touched by the gesture, Ark departs with Ponta by his side. That same night, elsewhere in the forest, a large military force struggles to defeat another giant basilisk. After suffering numerous casualties, the soldiers learn that someone else managed to kill a similar monster entirely alone. Hearing this unbelievable report, their commander concludes that whoever accomplished such a feat must be either a god or a devil. Back at the inn, Ark relaxes with Ponta and reflects on the day's events. With his confidence growing, he begins considering taking on far more difficult quests in the future. After defeating the bandits hiding inside a cave, Ark discovers a large stash of treasure, along with several empty cages. At first, he doesn't think much of them. Elsewhere, Marquis Triton learns that the assassination attempt on Lauren has failed, and that the giant basilisks released in Louvierde have already been killed. Frustrated by the news, he orders his men to secure the product and send it to the market while making sure Princess Yuriarna learns nothing about it. Meanwhile, Ark leaves the cave only to be suddenly attacked by the dark elf warrior he met earlier. Believing him to be a bandit, Ariane launches an assault, but quickly stops when she notices Ponta, a spirit beast, resting on his shoulder. Realizing Ark isn't an enemy, she explains that bandits in the area have been kidnapping elves. Ark then understands that the cages he found were used to hold captured elves before they were sold as slaves. Although Ariane refuses his offer to help and leaves, Ark decides to assist anyway, treating it like a special quest from a game. The next day, Ark teleports near the elven forest, hoping to find clues. Soon, he spots a young elf girl trying to escape from a group of bandits. Their leader, Udalin, cruelly catches her and even stabs her leg when she resists. Before Ark can intervene, Ariane suddenly appears and cuts through several bandits in a single strike. The criminals recognize her as a rare dark elf and talk about how much money she would bring on the slave market, but Ariane effortlessly defeats nearly all of them. Just as she gains the upper hand, Udalin grabs one of the captured elf girls and takes her hostage. Seeing his chance, Ark teleports behind him and slams him with his powerful armor lariat attack, knocking him out instantly. Together, Ark and Ariane finish off the remaining bandits and free the imprisoned elves. Ariane discovers that the captives are wearing mana-eating collars, magical restraints that prevent elves from using spirit magic. Ark shocks her by easily removing the curse and healing the injured girls with powerful magic. Impressed by his abilities, Ariane watches as he removes the remaining collars and heals the rest of the captives. Soon, several cloaked elves arrive to escort the rescued girls home. Afterward, Ariane questions Ark about his true identity, amazed by the strength and magic he displayed. However, Ark insists that he is just an ordinary traveler. At that moment, Ariane's spirit messenger returns with important news. The main organization behind the elf kidnappings has been traced to the city of Diento, and the elves are preparing to strike back. Realizing she will need help, Ariane finally asks Ark to join her mission. After hearing Ariane's request, Ark considers whether her fellow elves will be willing to trust a mysterious outsider like him. However, Ariane confidently says that if she can trust him, then her companions can as well. Accepting her offer, Ark agrees to help rescue the captured elves. Using his powerful gate magic, Ark teleports himself, Ariane, and Ponta to a location near the city. Ariane is surprised by how easily he can travel such long distances. They soon meet Danka, Ariane's companion, who initially gives Ark a cold and intimidating stare. The group heads to a restaurant where Ariane formally introduces the two. During their discussion, Ark learns more about elf naming customs and realizes that Ariane and Danka are related through the Maple family name. When the conversation turns to the rescue mission, Ark confirms that he can use teleportation magic. Ponta then appears on his shoulder, causing Danka to immediately recognize the legendary spirit beast. This revelation greatly improves Danka's opinion of Ark. He explains that the elves are being held somewhere within the city's theater district, and the group decides to launch their rescue operation after nightfall when security is weakest. While waiting, Ark sells the valuables he collected from defeated bandits and claims their bounties, earning himself a decent amount of gold. He then enjoys a meal with Ponta before returning to meet the others. Meanwhile, the imprisoned elves remain hopeful that someone will come to save them despite their captors mocking their confidence. As night arrives, the rescue mission begins. Unknown to the group, a mysterious figure secretly follows them. Reaching the target building, Ark uses Dimension Move to teleport everyone onto the rooftop. After entering the building, they discover several bandits already lying dead, suggesting that someone else has infiltrated the place before them. The group splits up the search more efficiently. While exploring, Ark suddenly encounters a female ninja. Instead of attacking him, she quickly realizes that they share the same goal. After noticing Ponta, she becomes friendly and hands Ark important information, including the location of the imprisoned elves and several documents proving that elves are being sold as slaves. Before leaving, she also reveals shocking news. 2 more elves are being held elsewhere inside the local lord's palace. Ark later shares the information with Ariane and Danka, but keeps the ninja's involvement a secret. Moments later, several bandits stumble upon them, only to be swiftly defeated by Ariane. The group eventually reaches the underground prison area and frees the captive elves. The rescued prisoners are overwhelmed with relief and gratitude. Ark then uses gate magic to transport everyone outside safely. Once there, he notices magical collars around the elves' necks that prevent them from using magic. Using his purification spell, Uncurse, Ark instantly removes every collar. The incredible display of magic leaves Danka completely astonished. It becomes clear that Ark possesses abilities far beyond those of an ordinary adventurer. Although many elves have now been rescued, Danka reminds everyone that the mission is not yet finished. He volunteers to escort the freed elves back to safety while Ark and Ariane continue the operation. Determined to save the remaining captives, Ark uses Dimension Move once again and heads with Ariane toward the Lord's palace. From a distance, the mysterious ninja watches them alongside another ninja and comments that their paths will likely cross again in the future. Ark and Ariane continue their mission to rescue the last 2 captured elves, Senna and Unna, who are being held inside Lord Triton's mansion. While the elves are restrained in Triton's room, the corrupt noble scolds his son Eudolin for his recent failures, completely unaware that trouble is about to arrive. Using Dimension Move, Ark and Ariane infiltrate the mansion grounds. After being spotted by guards, Ark creates a massive distraction by slicing apart the mansion's bell with his powerful wyvern slash. As alarms and confusion spread throughout the estate, the two make their way inside. The disturbance quickly reaches Triton. While he is discussing the situation, the wall behind him suddenly explodes. Through the smoke emerge Ark and Ariane, who boldly announce that they have come to rescue the imprisoned elves. Ariane immediately knocks Triton down while Ark frightens Eudolin into complete panic. During the chaos, Ark discovers a secret room hidden within the mansion. Inside the hidden chamber, Ark finds a large stash of gold and valuables. While Ariane and the rescued elves focus on venting their anger toward Triton, Ark quietly helps himself to the treasure. When Ariane later catches him gathering the gold, Ark quickly claims that he is confiscating the money to prevent the corrupt family from rebuilding its influence. Ariane accepts the explanation without suspicion. Soon afterward, explosions erupt throughout the mansion. To avoid being caught in the destruction, Ark teleports himself and Ariane to safety. With the rescue complete, Ariane thanks Ark for all of his help. Although the reward she originally promised is not nearly enough to repay him, she offers something far more valuable, an invitation to travel with her to the elven homeland, where many more elves may still need saving. Ark is thrilled by the idea but worries about how the elves will react to someone like him. Ariane admits that the elders may have concerns, especially since Ark never removed his armor. Curious, she asks why he always hides his face. Ark then asks whether she would attack him if she saw what he truly looked like. After Ariane promises that she would not, Ark finally removes his helmet and reveals his skeletal appearance. Rather than reacting with fear, Ariane calmly listens as Ark explains that he suffers from a curse that transformed his body. Since he has repeatedly risked his life to help others, she chooses to trust him completely. She even suggests that the elders of her homeland may know a way to restore his original appearance. Relieved to finally share his secret with someone, Ark and Ariane formally strengthen their friendship and continue their journey together. Meanwhile, in the capital city of Olov, King Carlin holds a meeting with his children regarding the growing scandal surrounding the illegal elf slave trade. Prince Sect argues that Lord Triton was secretly selling elves to foreign nations, while Prince Dakars denies the accusations. Princess Uriarna warns that if the rumors are true, relations with the elves in neighboring countries could collapse. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, King Carlin orders a full investigation and assigns Uriarna to travel and help ease tensions with the elves. Back on the road, Ark, Ariane, and Ponta travel through a dense forest toward the elven homeland of Lalatoya. During their journey, they set up camp near a stream. Donka sends a message confirming that the rescued elves are safe, allowing everyone to relax for the first time in days. That evening, Ark goes hunting for food and returns with a freshly caught boar. To his surprise, he finds Ariane happily cuddling Ponta. The sight embarrasses her when Ark catches her in the act, while Ark jokingly decides that he wants some cuddle time with Ponta as well. The lighthearted moment helps strengthen the bond between the traveling companions. Elsewhere, Princess Uriarna privately discusses the slave trade scandal with her maid Ferna. She suspects that powerful nobles may be involved and understands that the kingdom's future could be affected by the outcome. Nevertheless, her immediate priority remains repairing relations with the elves. After days of traveling, Ark and Ariane finally arrive at Lalatoya, the homeland of the elves. Upon reaching the village gates, Ariane requests permission to enter and speak with the village elders. Since Ark is an outsider, he is asked to wait outside until a decision is made. Hours pass before he is finally allowed inside the beautiful elven village. Ariane leads Ark to the home of the village elder, where he is introduced to the leaders of Lalatoya. To his surprise, the elder, Dylan Tog Lalatoya, and his wife, Glennie Salna Lalatoya, are actually Ariane's parents. Dylan thanks Ark for everything he has done to rescue the captured elves, though he also scolds Ariane for recklessly attacking Lord Triton's mansion. Inside their home, Ark explains everything that happened, including the discovery of documents proving the existence of an illegal elf trafficking operation. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, Dylan promises to inform the other elders so they can decide how to respond. Later, Glennies prepares dinner. Ark becomes nervous because eating in front of others could expose his skeletal appearance, but he soon learns that Ariane's parents already know about his condition and accept him without fear. Relieved, Ark finally enjoys a peaceful meal. The next morning, Ark discovers that Ariane and Dylan have already left for a meeting with the elders. While they are away, Glennies gives Ark a tour of the village and shares stories about its history. During the tour, two young elf girls approach Ark and thank him for rescuing them from the slavers. Their gratitude reminds Ark that his efforts have genuinely changed lives. Meanwhile, the elders gather to discuss the violation of the centuries-old treaty that forbids the enslavement of elves. Many are angered by the discovery, but after lengthy debate, they decide to first observe how the rodent kingdom responds to the incident before taking any drastic action. Back in the village, Glennies challenges Ark to a friendly sparring match. Despite Ark's immense power, Glennie's swordsmanship and experience allow her to overwhelm him with surprising ease. The battle serves as a reminder that strength alone is not everything. After the elders' meeting ends, Ariane learns that her older sister, Even, will be getting married the following year. The news shocks her because Even is known for loving battle more than almost anything else. As if summoned by the conversation itself, Even suddenly appears and enthusiastically tackles Ariane to the ground. The sisters spend some time catching up while their father quietly leaves them to talk. Later, Ark relaxes by taking a bath with Ponta nearby. Unfortunately, Ariane enters the bath area without realizing he is there, leading to an awkward and embarrassing misunderstanding before both quickly move on from the incident. That evening, Dylan shares the elder's decision with Ark. He asks Ark to continue investigating the people named in the trafficking contracts and rescue any enslaved elves he encounters. Knowing that money alone would not be enough reward for such a dangerous mission, Dylan offers Ark something much more valuable: information about a possible way to remove his curse. Dylan explains that a magical spring exists near the territory of the Dragon Lord, a legendary being powerful enough to make even experienced warriors cautious. The spring is said to possess the ability to remove curses, but reaching it will not be easy because powerful spirit beasts and the Dragon Lord itself guard the area. An elf mediator is also required to gain safe access. Interested in the possibility of regaining his human appearance, Ark accepts the mission. Ariane immediately volunteers to accompany him, and Ark gladly agrees. That night, Ark lies awake thinking about his skeletal body. He begins to wonder whether his appearance is truly a curse at all. If it were, then perhaps his own magic could remove it. Curious, he decides to test his theory by casting Uncurse on himself. To his complete surprise, the spell works without harming him, suggesting that the secret behind his condition may be far more complicated than he originally believed. After accepting a new mission from Ariane's father, Ark and Ariane begin traveling toward Olaf, the capital of the Rodent Kingdom. Along the way, Ark reflects on a discovery he recently made about his skeletal body. Although his Uncurse spell can temporarily restore his appearance, the effect eventually wears off, proving that whatever transformed him is not an ordinary curse. As they travel through the wilderness, the group reaches a pond inhabited by giant dragonflies. The insects immediately swarm Ark, sending the powerful knight into a panic. Despite being able to defeat powerful monsters with ease, Ark reveals that he has a serious fear of insects, much to Ariane's amusement. Later, while resting at a village inn, Ark admits his weakness to Ariane over dinner. The local waitress warns them about taking a shortcut through the nearby forest because it is infested with dangerous monsters known as haunted wolves. Even after hearing the warning, Ariane chooses the forest route because it will allow them to reach their destination faster and potentially rescue more elves. Ark reluctantly agrees and follows her lead. Meanwhile, Princess Uriarna prepares to leave the capital alongside her attendant Ferna. She intends to travel quickly to improve relations with the elves following the recent slave trade scandal. However, unknown enemies secretly watch her movements from shadows. As Ark and Ariane enter the forest, Ariane explains that the fur from a haunted wolf's tail can be used to create beautiful veils, making it a valuable wedding gift. Since her sister Even is getting married soon, Ariane hopes to collect some of the fur for her. Before long, the pair are attacked by a pack of haunted wolves. The creatures use illusion magic to confuse their enemies, making them difficult to fight. During the battle, Ark notices something unusual about the pack leader. Attached to its leg is a strange ring identical to one he previously found on a giant basilisk. Realizing the ring is controlling the monster, Ark cuts it off. Immediately, the wolf regains its senses and calls the rest of the pack to retreat. After the battle, Ark tells Ariane about the mysterious rings and how he has now encountered them on multiple monsters. The discovery suggests that someone may be deliberately controlling powerful beasts from behind the scenes. While Ariane gathers fur from one of the defeated wolves, Ark begins to suspect a larger conspiracy. Elsewhere in the forest, Uriarna reflects on the political situation within the kingdom. She believes her brother Dekars is responsible for the elf trafficking operation, while her other brother, Sect, is content to let events unfold. Suddenly, her carriage comes under attack. A group of hooded assassins ambushes Uriarna's escort. During the assault, Uriarna and Ferna are seemingly killed, while one of the guards reveals himself to be a traitor. At that moment, Pontus senses the disturbance and rushes toward the battlefield, leading Ark directly to the scene. When Ark arrives, he finds Uriarna and Ferna lying lifeless on the ground. Before he can react, the assassins bombard him with powerful magic attacks. However, the spells are completely ineffective against Ark's overwhelming defenses. Just as the battle escalates, the same haunted wolves from earlier appear and attack the assassins. With the wolves' help, Ark defeats several of the attackers while the remaining assassins flee into the forest. After the battle, Ark faces a difficult decision. He decides to use the powerful regeneration spell on Uriarna, Ferna, and the injured guards. The spell successfully heals their fatal wounds and brings them back from the brink of death. As Uriarna briefly regains consciousness, she catches a glimpse of Ark and mistakes him for an angel. When Uriarna fully awakens, she learns from Ferna that a mysterious savior healed everyone. Believing that divine intervention saved their lives, she declares it a miracle and inspires her surviving guards to continue their mission. Meanwhile, Ark quietly watches from a distance before rejoining Ariane and continuing their journey. Eventually, Ark and Ariane arrive at Olaf. Shortly after entering the city, they witness a young woman effortlessly defeating 3 aggressive men. To Ark's surprise, the woman turns out to be the mysterious ninja he met during the elf rescue operation. She introduces herself as Chiom, one of the elite members of the Jinshin clan. Thanking Ark and Ariane for helping free the slaves in Diento, she invites them to speak privately at an inn. There, Ark introduces himself and Ponta, while Ariane formally introduces herself as well. Curious about their previous encounter, Chiom asks Ark how he immediately recognized her as a ninja. Ark casually explains that ninjas exist where he comes from. This revelation shocks Chiom, who reveals that the founder of her clan, a man known as Hanzo, came from a similar place around 600 years ago. The information leaves Ark stunned. He begins to suspect that another person from his original world may have been transported to this fantasy world centuries earlier. Before he can think too deeply about it, Chiom explains why she sought him out. She requests his help in rescuing enslaved beastmen, including members of her own clan who have been captured. Although Ark is already helping Ariane investigate the elf trafficking operation, Ariane sympathizes with Cheom's situation. Having spent much of her life rescuing kidnapped elves, she understands Cheom's pain and immediately agrees to help. With Ark on board as well, the group forms a temporary alliance. Meanwhile, inside the royal palace, Prince Dakars grows furious after learning that the haunted wolves under his control have stopped responding to commands. His associate, Centurion, suggests that someone may have destroyed the magical rings controlling them. He also warns Dakars that Princess Uriarna likely survived the assassination attempt. Realizing his plans are beginning to unravel, Dakars retreats to a hidden safe house. As Ark's group travels through the city, Cheom shares more information about the Jinshin clan. She explains that their founder, Hanzo, was actually a human who took an abandoned beastmen and taught them the ways of ninjutsu. Hearing this strengthens Ark's suspicion that Hanzo originated from the same world he did. The group eventually reaches their destination, Etsit Market, the largest slave market in Olaf. Cheom reveals the plan for that night's operation. While several of her clan members attack slave markets across the city, Etsit Market will serve as the main diversion. She admits that not everyone involved may survive, but she is determined to free as many captives as possible. Ark immediately asks whether Etsit is merely a decoy target. Cheom confirms this and explains that multiple rescue operations will occur simultaneously. Despite the risks, Ark and Ariane refuse to back down. Ark's confidence in his teleportation magic gives everyone hope that casualties can be minimized. Later, Cheom introduces Ark to another ninja named Gomen. When Ark hears the name, he jokingly questions whether it is a real name or a title. Cheom explains that Gomen is a title given to the most skilled warrior of their clan. After a brief misunderstanding that nearly turns into a fight, Ark and Gomen quickly discover that they get along surprisingly well. When night falls, the rescue operation begins. The team splits into two groups. Ariane and Cheom attack from the front, while Ark and Gomen infiltrate the market from the rear. Approaching the back entrance, Gomen enhances his body with powerful earth-based techniques while Ark prepares to charge in. Together they smash through the gate and storm the compound. Ark effortlessly cuts down numerous guards, while Gomen's hardened body shatters the weapons of anyone foolish enough to attack him. As more enemies rush toward them, Ark unleashes powerful earth magic, blasting through their ranks. His intimidating laughter and overwhelming strength terrify the guards, causing panic to spread throughout the market. Working together, Ark and Gomen combine their magic attacks, creating a massive chain reaction that devastates the surrounding area. At the same time, Ariane and Cheom successfully breach the front entrance and push deeper into the slave market. As the assault on Etsit Market continues, Prince Dakars receives alarming news from his ally Cetrion. Not only is the largest slave market under attack, but 4 other slave markets across the city are being targeted at the same time. Cheom, Ariane, and Panta continue pushing deeper into the compound. Guards quickly discover them, but Cheom effortlessly defeats them using her ninja techniques. When additional guards arrive, Ariane supports her with powerful fire magic, clearing the path ahead. The group eventually reaches the prison area where countless beastmen and other slaves are being held captive. Cheom proudly announces that she is a member of the Jinshin clan and has come to rescue them. Hearing this, many of the prisoners regain hope for the first time in years. As Cheom unlocks the cells, more guards rush in, only to be swiftly defeated by Ariane. Meanwhile, outside the market, Ark and Gomen emerge from the destruction caused by their earlier assault. After reuniting with Cheom's group, they learn where the remaining prisoners are being held. Gomen volunteers to stay behind and hold off any reinforcements while Ark, Ariane, and Cheom continue rescuing slaves inside. As they search the facility, they uncover a horrifying truth. The surviving slave reveals that anyone who became too sick or injured to work was simply disposed of. Nearby lies a pile of corpses belonging to those unfortunate victims. The sight deeply affects Cheom, who struggles to hide her grief and anger. Putting aside their emotions, the group focuses on saving as many people as possible. Ark repeatedly uses his teleportation magic to transport large groups of rescued slaves to safety. Thanks to his incredible abilities, hundreds of captives are freed far faster than would normally be possible. After evacuating the survivors, Ark returns to assist Gomen. Despite being heavily outnumbered, Gomen has held the line against the incoming reinforcements. Together, the two unleash devastating earth magic that completely overwhelms the enemy forces. Their combined attacks leave the reinforcements helpless and bring the battle to an end. Once the fighting is over, the group gathers the bodies of the deceased slaves and give them a proper burial. Ariane respectfully cremates the remains, allowing the victims to rest in peace. Watching the ceremony, Cheom renews her determination to become stronger so that tragedies like this will never happen again. Elsewhere, the political situation takes a shocking turn. Prince Dakars is suddenly assassinated by his own ally, Cetrion. It is then revealed that Cetrion has secretly been working with Prince Sect all along. Believing Princess Uriarna to be dead, Sect is delighted. With Dakars eliminated and Uriarna supposedly gone, he believes he is now the sole heir to the throne. After completing the rescue mission, Ark and Gomen share another friendly bonding moment, having gained mutual respect through battle. Cheom once again speaks of her desire to grow stronger, while Ariane encourages her to keep moving forward. Sometime later, the group leaves Olaf by boat. During the journey, Cheom explains that she and Gomen will soon return to a hidden village located in the Calcut Mountains. Before parting ways, however, she fulfills her promise and shares important intelligence regarding the slave trade. At the same time, Princess Uriarna finally reaches the Grand Duchy of Limbolt and reunites with her older sister, Seriarna. There she learns that the kingdom believes she is dead. The only evidence of her supposed death was a necklace she always wore, which had somehow been recovered after the assassination attempt. Realizing someone is manipulating events from the shadows, Yuriarna decides to keep her survival a secret for now and continue her diplomatic mission with the elves. Back on the boat, Ariane uses a whisper bird to send Danka an update about recent events. Shiom's information reveals a major breakthrough. Many of the remaining enslaved elves are being held inside the Holy Revlon Empire. This discovery gives Ark and Ariane a new destination and a new objective. As they begin traveling east toward the Empire, Ark notices how much Ariane has changed since they first met. She has become more trusting, more open, and increasingly willing to rely on him. Meanwhile, inside the Holy Revlon Empire, Emperor Domitianus receives news of Dakar's death. Although pleased by Yuriarna's presumed demise, he learns that the magical control rings supplied to Dakar's have been destroyed and that an unknown third party has interfered with their plans. Suspecting the Prince sect may be involved, the Emperor shifts his attention to a larger scheme already in motion. Far away, a mysterious man named Fumba watches as a giant worm-like monster, bearing one of the same control rings, slaughters another creature. As Ark and Ariane continue their journey toward the Holy Revlon Empire, they travel through a vast desert region. While crossing the wasteland, Ark becomes excited when he spots a flock of sand wyverns flying overhead. Unfortunately, those same monsters prevent Ariane's whisper bird from delivering messages because the frightened bird refuses to fly near them. Wanting to help, Ark casts a large area lightning spell to drive the wyverns away. However, the spell works a little too well and accidentally shocks Ariane, Panta, and the poor whisper bird along with the monsters. As Ark desperately tries to figure out what went wrong, an unknown observer secretly watches him from afar and takes notes. That evening, the group reaches a small town. Ark apologizes for the accident, and Ariane explains more about their route into the Holy Revlon Empire. She admits that she has been unusually tense ever since learning the remaining elves are being held there. Unlike the Rodent Kingdom, slavery is openly accepted within the Empire, making it an especially dangerous place for an elf. While discussing their plans, they are approached by the mysterious observer, who introduces himself as Karsi Held, an elf who studies monsters. Before he can properly explain himself, Ariane immediately places a pot over his head and warns him that openly revealing himself as an elf is dangerous. To her surprise, the townspeople greet Karsi warmly, showing that he is well-liked despite being an elf. Over drinks, Karsi explains that he has lived among humans for 10 years and dreams of a future where humans and elves can coexist peacefully. Ariane finds his optimism difficult to believe, but Karsi points out that she herself is traveling alongside a human knight and a spirit beast. Although Ariane insists Ark is a special case, she reluctantly listens to him. Karsi then asks for their help with a monster research project. Ariane initially refuses, but Karsi offers them a detailed map of the Revlon Empire along with a bestiary. Recognizing how valuable these resources could be, Ark convinces Ariane to accept the request. Later that night, Ark pays for a room at the inn, and the owner rewards them with a large barrel of alcohol. While drinking together, Ark and Ariane discuss Karsi's dream of peace between humans and elves. As the evening continues, Ariane becomes extremely drunk and starts acting far more openly than usual. The next morning, she wakes up with a terrible hangover and briefly panics when she sees what appears to be a skeleton nearby, only to remember that it is Ark. When they meet Karsi the following day, he casually reveals that the entire town overheard parts of their conversation from the previous night. The embarrassed Ariane nearly attacks him before Ark intervenes. The group then sets out on Karsi's research mission. Traveling by wagon through the desert, Ariane suffers from a combination of motion sickness, a hangover, and the awful smell coming from the cargo. Karsi explains that the smell comes from goblin corpses being used as bait to attract a monster known as a sandworm. One of Karsi's companions offers Ariane a special tea to help her recover. Although suspicious at first, she eventually drinks it and quickly feels better. During the journey, Ark asks Karsi about the sandworm, learning that it is an extremely dangerous monster that lives beneath the desert sands. Before long, the bait works a little too well. A gigantic sandworm suddenly appears, far larger than anyone expected. When Ariane rushes to rescue Karsi's companion, the monster ambushes her. She attacks it with fire magic after hearing that fire is supposedly its weakness, but the spell has almost no effect. Just as the sandworm is about to strike, Ark leaps into action and saves her. Using his incredible strength, he grabs the enormous creature, drags it out of the sand, and slams it into the ground. During the struggle, Ark notices another mysterious ring attached to the monster. As soon as the ring is removed, the sandworm calms down, further supporting the theory that someone is controlling monsters throughout the region. After capturing the creature, the group returns to town. Karsi rewards Ark and Ariane with a promised map and bestiary. Before leaving, Ariane asks why an elf like him chooses to live among humans. Karsi explains that although his early experiences with humans were difficult, he eventually came to understand and appreciate them. He believes humans and elves can someday live together peacefully. To support his argument, he tells Ariane about a human noble and an elf woman who fell in love after he rescued her from slavery. Their marriage became a symbol of cooperation between the two races. For the first time, Ariane seriously considers that peaceful coexistence might actually be possible. As she and Ark continue their journey, they discuss the idea and wonder whether such a future can truly exist. Meanwhile, inside the Holy Revlon Empire, darker events are unfolding. A mysterious noble reports to the sinister Fumba about the growing number of disappearances. Fumba reveals a terrifying new monster under his control and demonstrates its brutality. As the massive Hydra emerges from the fortress, Ark notices several control rings attached to its body. Realizing how dangerous the monster is, Cheom suggests retreating, but before anyone can move, one of the Hydra's heads launches a giant fireball directly at them. Watching through the Hydra's eyes, Fumba believes he has finally defeated Ark and his companions. A brief flashback reveals Fumba's past. Rejected by his clan for his weakness and obsession with gaining power, he eventually earned the favor of Emperor Domitianus and Chancellor Velmoas. In exchange for his loyalty, he was granted authority and resources to continue his monstrous research. Back in the present, Fumba orders the Hydra to attack Kasek and devour its inhabitants. However, Ark and Cheom survive the explosion thanks to Ark's powerful shield magic. Ariane also emerges unharmed, but unlike before, she is consumed by a cold and controlled fury. Although she had been possessed earlier, she heard every word Fumba said about the suffering of the captured elves. Determined to make him pay, she wants to pursue him immediately. Ark instead decides to stop the Hydra before it reaches the town, so Ariane and Cheom head off to hunt Fumba while Ark faces the monster alone. Meanwhile, within the Holy Revlon Empire, Chancellor Velmoas informs Emperor Domitianus that research on the Rings of Submission is nearly complete. These rings were developed using knowledge gained from studying Fumba's sorcery and are intended to control powerful beings. As the Hydra approaches Kasek, alarms ring throughout the town and guards begin evacuating civilians. Ark quickly catches up to the monster and attacks with Wyvern Slash, successfully drawing its attention away from the city. He follows up with Shield Bash and Armor Lariat, forcing the giant beast onto the defensive. Fumba watches in disbelief as Ark continues overwhelming the Hydra. Even when one of the heads bites down on him, Ark protects himself with magic and destroys the attacking head from within. He then unleashes Judgment, obliterating 3 more heads at once. Unfortunately, the Hydra's regeneration ability immediately restores them. Realizing normal attacks won't be enough, Ark teleports away and prepares a spell he has never used before. Calling upon immense magical power, he summons the Fire Spirit Ifrit to join the battle. At the same time, Ponta leads Ariane and Cheom directly to Fumba's hiding place. Fumba arrogantly assumes Ariane has come to serve him, but she has no intention of listening to him. He attempts to possess her again using imps, but Ariane destroys them before they can even get close. During the fight, Cheom wounds Fumba and exposes a magical crest on his back that helps him control monsters. Desperate, Fumba warns them that the Hydra is now completely out of control and will slaughter everyone in the city. Ariane remains calm and confidently replies that Ark is fighting it. Then, with a single strike from her flaming sword, she burns Fumba to ashes and ends his life. Back at the battlefield, Ark and Ifrit combine their strength against the Hydra. After an intense clash, they finally destroy the monstrous creature once and for all, saving Kasek from certain destruction. Later, the group reunites and receives a message from Donka through a whisper bird. The message reveals that Princess Yuriarna has successfully met with the elven elder Fangas. During their discussions, evidence surfaced linking Prince Sect, Prince Dakars, and the Revlon Empire to the conspiracy against the elves. Yuriarna promises that the Kingdom of Olav will stand beside the elves if war breaks out, and Fangas formally accepts the alliance. As Ark and his companions continue their journey, they discuss the possibility of peaceful coexistence between humans and elves. Elsewhere, Prince Sect learns that Yuriarna survived and that her negotiations succeeded. Although this disrupts his plans, he calmly decides to pursue a different path toward his goals. Meanwhile, Yuriarna privately reflects on how she was saved from death and believes she was brought back for a greater purpose. At the same time, Emperor Domitianus receives news that both Fumba and the Hydra have been destroyed. Rather than mourning their loss, he simply becomes curious about the mysterious warrior capable of defeating such a powerful monster. As the journey continues, Ark accidentally reveals his true skeletal face to Cheom. Shocked at first, she finally learns the truth about his condition. After recovering from the surprise, the group decides that once they reach Lalatoya, Ariane will guide Ark to meet Lord Crown. Excited about the future, Ark also expresses interest in visiting Cheom's homeland someday, and after some embarrassment, she shyly agrees.